Adding chat with Firebase. Creating the chat modal. In this video, we're going to create a chat modal. Let's take a look at our Firestore rules. There are rules for each collection. There are rules for the post and gallery collection, as well as the messages, which we haven't created as yet. As long as the user is authenticated, they should be able to read and write messages to the chat. Open the editor and select index.html. We can copy and paste a list item for the chat navigation element. Set the data target to modal chat and set the text to chat. Create space to work on the chat modal. Create a div and give it an ID of modal chat. Give it a class of modal. Inside this div, create another div with a class of modal content and a color of orange. Add an h4 element with a class of white text and center align. Set the h4 text to be pack chat and add a line break after the closing h4 tag. Save the file and run the web page in the browser. Add another div to modal chat. Give it a class of container and set the top margin to be 25 pixels. Set the maximum width to be 1280 pixels and set the width property to be 90%. Close the div. Add a div with an ID of chat to the container. Give it a height property of 60%. Add a form element with an ID of chat form. Give it a top margin of 20 pixels. Add a div to the form and give it a class of row. Add a div to row and give it a class of call S8 input field. Add an input element and set the type to text. Give it an ID of message and make it required. Create a label for the message and set it to be message. Create another div under S8 and give this one a class of call S2. Set the top margin to be 20 pixels. Add a button with a class of btn orange and set the text to send. Save the file and refresh the browser. Turn to the editor and change the column size to S10 for the first div in the row. Create a new folder and name it Images. We're going to drag an image to this folder named blank.png, which will be the profile picture for users who don't have a profile picture. You can download this file from the course's GitHub page. Let's create a new file named chat.js and add it to our scripts folder.